Okay, we are recording. Oh, this is so stressful. Okay. Hey, hi, hello. This is Her Habits. I am in my makeshift new podcast studio, aka my car. Man, yeah, I thought I would start a series called the Her Habits Diaries or something like that, some type of podcast style thing, because I'm in therapy and I'm supposed to be doing journaling stuff, and I really, for some reason, despise doing journaling stuff. I I like writing in the context of songs and poems, but journaling about my day or exercises, writing about my feelings, I don't know why. I just really reject that sort of thing. And I had a lot of emotions going on today, as per usual. Disclaimer. Surprise, I have borderline personality disorder. I've been meaning to talk about this for a while, but especially since the Johnny Depp trial, where Amber Heard was kind of somewhat diagnosed by Dr. Curry with borderline, as well as histrionic personality disorder. So yeah, I had a video planned to talk about my own experience in regards to that and what I picked up on in regards to her behavior and how it, the characteristics of borderline, just examples of it within the audio tapes of them or different scenarios and stuff like that. But of course, never got around to that video. As with a lot of my projects, I have these ideas and then the follow through is a struggle for me. And that kind of relates to what I wanted to talk about today. Because I don't know, I do some videos. I get to a certain point, but even just the videos that I have done, there's just a lot of, not with all of them, but with a lot of them, I think there's so much to push through, so many feelings of inadequacy and lack of confidence and just stress and anxiety. And I've briefly maybe spoken about having anxiety and things like that. And I don't know, I guess I don't know how much I've really talked about on my channel. Probably not much at all, but even making this video, I felt like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm just constantly complaining about these things and blah blah blah. Like, I don't know, I'm just so in my head all the time. It's been quite a few years of working through the emotional trauma that I have gone through. And yeah, I just turned 28 and I thought, okay, I'm going to be turning a new leaf. But these, like, fuck, I just got triggered. I got triggered somewhat intense recently with the feelings of just feeling not good enough. I tend to feel that a lot, and just feeling guilty about things that I shouldn't, like things that are so minor, and just feeling guilty all the time. And I don't know, I just really I feel like I really have some things to spew out, and I just want to speak my own truth, if you will, because I am honestly going a little bit insane, because I actually have my own experience dealing with it's so hard to talk about. It just brings up, like, I just feel bad for even saying this because this person is still in my life and everything, and it's just they are in my opinion, really not self-aware, that they don't even realize it. And just when people have narcissistic qualities or characteristics or what have you, it's shocking how deep that shit goes, to where they do believe their own lies and they do believe their own perception of reality and stuff like that. So this is just a struggle for me. I don't It's just interesting this all sort of came up. Well, I don't know, I've been dealing with this shit for years, but watching and listening to the trial, it really, there's a lot of people around the world that are resonating with aspects of it. And I honestly resonated with both sides, because I feel like I have been a victim of narcissistic abuse, if you will, or just emotional manipulation, emotional abuse. And throughout that, like, I've honestly taken on my own form of narcissistic tendencies in a certain way. Like, I can, and I don't know too if that's just the borderline stuff too, because I think there's a lot of crossover between borderline personality and narcissistic personality disorder. Like when you're in an episode of borderline, I feel like you can become quite narcissistic, because it's all about you and your feelings, and you lash out at the other person, and you can totally gaslight them and do all this stuff. And just with the relationships, being in a relationship, and I think when you listen to those audio tapes of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, I think there's a lot of couples that like certain aspects of it in that, and it might not be as intense or something like that, but the communication style and stuff like that, I think a lot of couples just relate to some of the things within there and stuff. So I took so long to set up for this video, and earlier I was a bit more pumped about it. I was like ready to do it and say things and just talk a little bit about things more than what's happening now. I'm just feeling rather uncomfortable, and I'm just at a loss for words now. I'm like, what was it that I even wanted to say? Trying to think of what it was. It's just like I have dealt with, dude, like the emotional manipulation is just so, it's such a mind fuck. Like, there was a lot of things that were said to me, and it just shapes your brain. It shapes your internal world and how you regulate your emotions, or just how you feel as a person. I just feel like I don't measure up, like all the time with anything. It could just be cleaning. I feel like I suck at cleaning, which I honestly do, but it spews into every aspect of my life. When I get triggered pretty intensely, it's like everything then I start to go into this depression, because those feelings start to seep into every aspect of my life. Maybe day to day, it's not as bad. I have done lots of years of therapy. I'm still in therapy, but like this emotional block of mine, this weight on my shoulders that I feel, that's what it was, I think, that I wanted to really talk about. Oh yeah, so what I noticed, I'm doing somatic experiencing therapy now, and so it's a type of trauma therapy, and it's really tuning into your body, and I guess resolving trauma through awareness of your body and what you need to comfort yourself, and a lot of inner child work. things like that, because I think I've been quite disconnected from my body, and I just tend to try to solve everything in my head, or I just don't even realize or pick up a lot of times how I'm automatically having these thoughts and then these feelings and whatnot. But anyways, let's go back to the videos, how it's been a struggle pushing through these feelings of not feeling confident, having all this anxiety around making the videos and stuff like that. Not feeling enough. It was my birthday recently on June 11th. Before I went out of town, I guess since the trial, I was being consistent maybe for once on this channel. Because this is my personal channel, it's really a struggle. I have a different channel that I react to Bollywood films with my partner Sean, and it's just not as personal, and it's just different. So I struggle with the confidence thing. I struggle on this channel because it's really putting myself out there, and this YouTube, making videos, pursuing music, those are my biggest passions in life. So yeah, it's been a struggle to just make the freaking content I just tend to avoid. I really avoid like the plague insanely to even do the work, and then I get so depressed about that and then anxious about that. I leave it till maybe the last minute, or I'm late getting started, and then I maybe don't finish projects, or I just keep switching projects because I'm like, oh no, something else new came out and this doesn't matter, and then I just don't start the new thing, and I procrastinate and I avoid. So I have these different phases of maybe, I'm really on it and I'm editing and I'm consistently doing the videos. That's sort of what happened for the first time, I guess, since the trial. And then that stressed me the fuck out though, because I had a video, did really well, and then there was this huge, immense pressure I put on myself to replicate that, like this, oh, now I have something to lose. Like, what if this is just a one-hit wonder and I just don't ever get decent views ever again on this channel, and like that was it, or I don't know. And then I just overworked myself, then I just stressed constantly, and then I was just obsessed with it, and I had no balance, and I went way overboard. And then I had this goal to get this new song done about the trial, and I've gotten so far, and then the trial ended. My goal was like, oh, I'll do it by the end of when they say the verdict, and then I didn't give myself hardly any time to do it because I was trying to balance the song with doing the meme videos, and then I just ran out of time, and then I'm like, it's okay, I'll just put it out late, it's okay. And then now I've just totally given up on it, and I haven't even touched the damn thing for weeks now, I think. And then I filmed this other video that's almost done that I went out of town for my birthday is the thing. We're all over the place. This is like ADHD madness right here. Not formally diagnosed, but I have a lot of the characteristics, and I beg for your forgiveness for this jumbled around video, because at this point especially, I'm not going to be able to edit this, because then I'm just going to get nothing else. This video won't make it out there if I try to edit this, because I'll just get so frustrated and pissed off that I'll just give up altogether. So anyways, my birthday. So I was like, okay, let's get back on track. I filmed this video. I was editing, and then I had this whole plan. I was gonna, go to town, see some friends, whatever, and I just had it all set up and everything, because I contemplated just not even going out of town anymore, but I had just been so excited to finally get out of town and do something. So it's like, I have to get this video out and posted so that it's done and I don't miss so many days posting and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I got so far and then didn't post it because, I didn't finish it. And then I still had to go to town. And then since I've gotten back to town, I'm just in full on avoidance mode. And I got triggered because, I don't know, just realizing how much flailing I'm doing and how much productivity, how much stuff is not getting done. And then I I applied for a part-time job at a clothing store to get out of the house, to have some more structure. Like, I do make money from YouTube. It's been mostly from the other channel up until more recently that I've been doing better with views, but then that hasn't been consistent at all. And so also, it hasn't even been, yeah, minimum wage yet at this point. So to help out with finances with the house and everything. And, I was just I was feeling bad about it. Just was all coming to a head. My partner and I kind of had this discussion, and like, I will get on him for certain things, and then he's like, well, it seems like you're never changing. And yeah, I realized I'm just doing a lot of this to him, and then I feel like I'm working on myself. I'll be in therapy and stuff like that, but then I just feel so stuck with this stuff. So where were we? Where was I going with this? I've just been in full on avoidance mode since I got back, and I was like, I can't do this again. Like, I can't keep doing this. And my therapist was texting me the other day. Oh yeah, sorry. So I applied to a clothing store, and because I was in there the other day, I shouldn't be shopping because I can be a shopaholic and finances are kind of tight. So yeah, I feel bad about that. And so I got some clothes at this store that seemed desperate for staff. They were closing an hour early because of a staff shortage. So I've always wanted to work at a clothing store, and I thought, okay, be good to, just apply, do a few days a week. I have had very traumatic experience, in my opinion, in the workforce. I was just already struggling with so much anxiety and just feeling like a total piece of absolute garbage. And then I just had these managers that were so toxic and mean. And so it just already is such a nerve-wracking, scary thing for me. I remember having shifts with just 8 hours straight of rolling panic attacks, as a teenager. And anyways, I dropped off a resume, met the manager and everything. And then it's been 3 days. Like, I just thought I would hear back. I could go and present my desperateness and be like, hey, I'm really interested. I dropped off my resume with you, just making sure to chance to go over it. When I briefly dropped it off with the manager, she asked my availability, but she also seemed just really, really busy. She was opening the store. The store is also opening an hour later. Like, they are desperate. And then, so I'm thinking, oh my God, they're going to call me right away. Like, I'm overqualified. I have worked in retail, not clothing, but like other retail stores and just I worked in a group home with youth at risk. And I don't know. I have work experience, and the girls that work there, I think they're still in high school, and I am qualified enough, I feel. But even dropping off that resume, like, I still feel shit about myself and inadequate, and like, oh my God, stressing. Are they gonna call me? And then when I don't get this call, she could call tomorrow. Who knows? It hasn't been that long, but I'm thinking they're desperate. And then it's just like a blow to my self-esteem. That's how I perceive this, as this holy fuck, Alyssa. Like, you can't even get this, minimum wage, like, no experience needed job now. And like, yeah, everything just kind of really went downhill after I started obsessing about not getting a call. And I try to challenge the thoughts and be like, that doesn't mean that maybe you're not meant to do this job, because I also felt like I was kind of deflecting. Like, I felt myself already putting all my energy and focus into the job thing. Like, because when I did up my resume, my cover letter, and then I was totally it was also an excuse to not start making content again for YouTube, to get all my videos and stuff. And anyways, things went downhill. Like, they went south after that, because it's even more intense now with this stress around making these videos and putting them out there. And I was slacking not trying to, like, I want to make the content, I want to do the videos, but I don't know, it's this huge blockage in my energy system, my chakras or some shit, because it affects my energy. Like, it just, I get so worked up about it, and then I feel exhausted and just tired and heavy, and I just feel like like today, you know, so I wanted to make some little clips or memes or something out of Amber Heard's she did her whole big ol' interview last night on Dateline, and during the week they were showing little promos for it and that, and I'm thinking, oh, I should be just I thought of making videos of those promos, but I don't know, just was I'll feel almost sick to my stomach about it. And today I had this plan to go, and I was just going to go sit in the mall cafeteria to get out of the house and just somewhere else and around people to do the editing. And I downloaded the Dateline video and set it all up so I can make clips. And I had this whole idea plan and everything. And then I'm walking there. It's already kind of later ish in the day. It's maybe 12:30 in the afternoon. Like, I've gotten a late start, kind of sabotaged it because I went to a bonfire thing last night with some friends and had some drinks. So I was a little bit hungover, but I wasn't up that late. Maybe got up around 9:30 in the morning and just fucked around for a few hours. And then I'm walking there and I'm thinking, okay, I got all my equipment, and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot my mouse pad. And then I'm obviously I could still try and edit or do something without the mouse pad, but this walk to the mall, my throat, like, I just felt like this lump in my throat type of feeling, and like it started building up and up and up in these emotions, and then I just I was like, oh my gosh, is this just, what is wrong with me? Like, what is wrong with me? I need to just push through. I don't know. It's a combination of, it's like this physical reaction, and then energetically and feeling just tired, and it almost like it starts to make me feel sick that I can't do the editing. And again, that's just kind of an excuse for sure, but it's like this block, like I can't flow and just work on it and do it, and it's just this big thing. And I started trying to just tap into those feelings and what's that about and everything, and then I just got this idea, I have to talk about this. I just feel like I had to push through. I just felt like I just can't get on with that other stuff until I talk about this, because it's this huge blockage, and a lot of it feels like it's not speaking my truth. This stuff that I've dealt with this person in my life, with the emotional abuse and manipulation and things like that, that have affected me as a person, that have me walking around feeling like a piece of shit all the time and not good enough, and that I can't pursue these things I enjoy, that it's just never going to work out for me. And I'll feel guilty because I feel like this person has changed, and it's like it's total different dynamic now and everything. But like the shit from the past, like I don't just get over that. And it was just sort of pummeled into my head. You can't pursue like the arts, and it's just not a legitimate pursuit in life for financial reasons and all this stuff. And I just feel like it's my calling. I feel like it's what I'm supposed to be doing. And yeah, I doubt that at times. I feel so strongly in my intuition, but then my head is just doubting it's just that nagging, just that negative asshole just pushing me down all the time. And I was just starting to get really angry and irritated because I've dealt with this sort of trauma with this person and healing it and working through it. And I feel like I felt like, oh, I healed it and that, but there's still something there. There's still something, God, there's just this underlying anger and this suppression. Like in my therapy session, she's making me scream, and I just feel uncomfortable and awkward. Like I don't deserve to have the space even to do that. I'm just like this, sitting in the chair. Like, I was like, she said, if you feel more comfortable, you can scream into your hands or something. I said, can I do this? Like, I just make myself the tiniest possible, space that I can, because, oh my God, my face is like so tomato. It's so hot in here, guys. I'm sweating buckets. It's so hot in this car in the middle of summer, but I just felt more comfortable out here. My boyfriend's home, and he's it's fine, but it's not like, it's hard for me to feel comfortable within myself. I just question me all the time. I just feel like I've just so been fucked with mentally, where it's like, is that okay to do? Is that not? Should I have said that? Should I have not? Because, when you're walking around eggshells constantly on a daily basis, because, one little slip, you're going to get absolutely berated just for making a joke that was not offensive at all, that you're just trying to like make the person laugh, get some attention. One day they laughed, the next they're totally verbally just going off on you, telling you that you're pathetic, and accidentally dropping a plate of lasagna and just fearing the barrage of insults. I think Johnny Depp described it like that in the trial. Thank God I wasn't physically abused. We'll say that. There was like maybe the most minor incident one time that I wasn't, it was sort of an accident. Well, yeah, pepper was attempted to be shoved up my mouth, and I refused to open my mouth, so it got shoved up my nose one time. And that's not even bad at all. Like, there's people that get beaten and stuff. And that's just one time I can remember that happening, this one time. Like, so it really wasn't physical at all, but like the emotional stuff is really confusing. And I'm just out here today rambling about, jumping all over the place, being disorganized as fuck, to speak my truth. And because this person will never admit that these things occurred, and they will turn around and they just outright deny it and basically insinuate that I'm totally making it up, or downplay it as, oh, that was just a joke, or I didn't mean it like that. If anything, if any accountability of, certain things haven't been said. And so it's just, you just really, over the years, it's like you just want that little bit of, you just want acknowledgement to know that you're not crazy. There's things where something's said, and 2 sentences later you're like, oh, well, didn't you say, I never said that. I never said that. What are you talking about? I didn't say that. It's like they said it, like a few seconds ago even. And so you just question yourself constantly all the time. So, yeah, I tend to feel like I can't speak to what I went through, because I don't want this to ever, I'm not out here to people are dynamic and versatile, and I don't believe people are just all bad or all good, and people act differently with different individuals, and I'm not perfect myself. I've been quite toxic myself to my partner and taken on some of these qualities which I never wanted to ever be that way to a person. I feel like I have limits when it comes to, I get frustrated and angry and I yell and I raise my voice and things like that, but I don't target the person's character as it like that. Like, to me, it's just, it's kind of more, it's nagging about certain things, like, why can't you do this? I've asked you to do this and do that, but I'm not, calling the person names. And just to be called pathetic in a serious way, just like, you're just pathetic. Like, to be told, you're stressing me out so much, I'm going to jump off a cliff because of you. I'm going to end up in the hospital because, like, everything's your fault. It's like everything is just to be that responsible for a person. Like, oh my God, if I stress this person off this much, they're threatening that they're going to kill themselves. That's very, very manipulative shit. And I have such a guilt complex. And there's people that have been through a lot worse. But I guess I'm just here acknowledging that I did go through some shit. It's not all in my head. At least this is my truth, what I remember. And I just want to let it go. I just want to be done with it. So this is me attempting to do that because I need to move forward in my life. And these feelings about myself and the anger I still have about the past and the just feeling like I have to placate the other person, and because I'm so concerned about their feelings and how they feel and not offending them and hurting them and bringing them down in any type of way possible. So concerned about that. And it's like, you know what? Fuck you. Sorry, but to the person that treated me that way, I know you have your own shit. I know you did the best you could, but fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. I didn't deserve any of that shit. And God, I deserve to feel my feelings. I deserve to not be yelled at and in trouble for being depressed or being anxious. I deserved to just cry in the privacy of my own fucking bedroom without you storming in and getting mad at me, telling me to cut it out, and basically that the anxiety was all my fault and that I was bringing it on myself. Like, no thank you. No thank you. Ugh. I want to get on with my shit and not have to doubt myself and feel inadequate and not enough constantly all the fucking time because, yeah, someone was constantly putting me down all the fucking time and I just couldn't do anything right. So am I even going to post this? Am I going to have the courage to post this? This person can be so delusional at times that I will never admit if they ask that it is about them. I don't think, I don't have a plan at this point to ever do that. I don't think this would faze them probably at all. They would watch this whole thing and not have any idea it's about them whatsoever, because when you have narcissistic tendencies, it's like you got no problems. There's nothing wrong with you. Everybody else is the problem. Everybody else needs to change. They're all the problem. No, honey boo boo. That is not how it works. We all have issues that we need to work on and heal. And yeah, it's just not effective going through life thinking that you're perfect and everyone else is the problem. So I'm saying that, and I'm reclaiming my power. This seems kind of cheesy. I feel kind of cheesy for saying this, but I'm literally claiming my power. I still have this feeling like, oh my gosh, you're like, I'm just whining about this shit that, oh, it really wasn't that bad. It's fine. I feel guilty about talking about this. But I need to do it for myself. I'm not doing this for sympathy or attention in any way. I'm just doing this because this is me gaining my voice back. This is me speaking my truth because I've tried to talk to this whenever I had tried. It does not go well. It does not go well to call out a narcissistic type of person on their shit. It does not go well. Like, I have tried to even just talking about my feelings, being like, oh, I felt hurt when this happened, or da, da, da. It's just you get gaslit because they can't admit to any fault or responsibility. So even if they hurt your feelings, it's like your problem and your fault. And even because I don't even think that like the intention maybe isn't there at all to hurt someone's feelings at all, but you're just expressing it's about you. You're just going, oh, my feelings were hurt. And then it's like, oh, I didn't realize, oh, I'm sorry, or whatever. Well, especially when you're I'm talking about shit as a kid. I didn't want to have to say that because I just don't want to reveal details. But the why this has impacted me so much, like why this is fucked up, is because I was a kid, like young, growing up, kid, dealing with these things so young. I don't think it really would have affected me that much as an adult. And I just have these characteristics about me that I struggle with. The biggest one currently is, those feelings having to do with making my content and the inadequacy feelings that. But then the thing that I struggle with hugely in my relationship is I have an anxious attachment style. And what that means is you just feel basically insecure in your relationship all the fucking time. And you have this, underlying fear of abandonment all the time, like, mixed with the borderline shit. Guys, like, I'm pretty sure pretty much probably everyone with borderline personality disorder has an anxious attachment style, because the acting out is usually due to this intense fear of abandonment. And yeah, it just seems like people with it would have the anxious. Sure as hell, they do not have a secure attachment. I can tell you that. Maybe it's people can have avoidant, or they whatever range from the different types. But I don't know. This whole time I'm talking just in my head about how I'm wording things, how I'm saying things. I'm such a perfectionist, and I just want to feel. I do feel okay. Like, I've come so far. It's just shit used to be so much worse. It used to be just in a constant state of depression and extreme anxiety. I was in a constant state of fight or flight. I used to have like severe social anxiety. I didn't even feel comfortable around my own family at the dinner table, or anyone. Even when I was completely alone, I didn't feel comfortable because I was always thinking about the past or what was about to happen the next day. And it's just constant state of fear all the time. It's no way to live, folks. But I managed to really overcome that. Like, it's gotten so much better. But I'm still peeling back the layers of this trauma onion. And now I feel like I'm on with this wound, with this childhood wound and this relationship, I feel like I'm on like the last layer, and I'm just ready to fucking rip that layer off and be done with this shit once and for all. So, I don't know. I don't know right now if I feel any better, but a bit that I did something. And now I feel like I'm going to have a bit of a struggle with actually posting this. Once it's out there, it's out there. But like, yeah, I'm just tired of feeling guilty. I'm tired of feeling guilty. I just want to feel like I deserve to take up my own space in this, have my own truth, and that I can talk about stuff too. Like, I can talk about what I went through. And if there's repercussions, I will deal with it when I get to it and be like, you know what? This is my story, and I'm not doing this to I don't think this person is a bad person in any way at all. I don't think they're a bad person at all. I think they are just like how I have these symptoms of borderline and how I am in my personality. I think it's a trauma response in and of itself. I've been watching a lot about narcissistic qualities and whatever you want to call it, and it's a trauma response. It really seems in and of itself like maybe it can be genetic too or something like that, but I think it is a factor of how you were raised. And in regards to Amber Heard having those the narcissistic characteristics, like she did go through a lot of trauma, it seems, as a kid, and it's a coping mechanism. And yeah, deep down, that person is insecure as hell. So it's a cover for that. And it's hard because I'm so empathetic and I feel, the guilt stuff and this, I just have so much empathy. So I'm just constantly worried about the other person's state of well-being. Like feel like I'm trying to, or as a kid, I felt like I had to regulate their emotions and just try to be on my best behavior. And I didn't know what it was going to be, though, how I was going to mess up or get in trouble. It just depended on whatever. I honestly think this person has borderline as well, but mixed with narcissistic tendencies, like, a lot of crossover there. And, I have my own ways of, I can be manipulative to get attention. A lot of times I can but the difference to me is I'm self-aware and like I'm aware of it. I'm aware maybe in the moment I can be aware now, I think, but I have a hard time still. At times I can have a hard time not feeding into it, but I feel like I've gotten so much better and I just need to keep working on myself. And anyways, I think I'm going to sign off now. This was episode 1 of the Her Habits Diaries podcast. I don't know if we're going to call it that, but right now I'm going to call it that. And I just want to get on. So love you guys. Whoever was listening, I severely apologize for the just direction that this took. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will keep talking. I guess there's going to be an episode 2 coming soon. I don't know when, but love you guys. I'm going to try to not feel bad now, but this is just triggering in and of itself. Hopefully this gets posted. Take care. We'll see you in the next video.